Which choice most logically completes the text? If some artifacts recovered from excavations of the settlement of Kulokata in modern Ghana date from the 13th century CE, that may lend credence to claims that the settlement was founded before or around that time. There is other evidence, however, strongly supporting a 14th century CE founding date for Kulokata. If both the artifact dates and the 14th century CE founding date are correct, that would imply that blank. So the focus of this text is on the artifacts recovered from the settlement of Kulokata, which is in modern-day Ghana, and that there is evidence to support a 14th century CE founding date for Kulokata. But if both of these artifact dates and these 14th century CE founding date are correct, that would imply that blank. So we're asked to choose the answer choice that would correctly be implied by these information, which is that the artifact dates and the 14th century CE founding date are correct. So with that, let's look at the answer choices. A. Artifacts from the 14th century CE are more commonly recovered than are artifacts from the 13th century CE. This is incorrect because, for one, nothing in the text suggests the frequency of finding each of these artifacts. And second, if the first sentence clearly says that if any artifacts or some artifacts were discovered that had a 13th century CE date, that would clearly prove that the 13th century was the correct founding date. But this goes against what it says here, that the 14th century CE is the correct founding date. So this cannot be true, and therefore A is incorrect. B. The artifacts originated elsewhere and eventually reached Kulokata through trade or migration. This seems to be the correct answer because this would properly make logical sense in the text, because the artifacts dated from around 13th century CE. Then, if that is true, and this Kulokata was created in 14th century CE, then these artifacts were created somewhere else in an earlier time period, and they were traded and eventually reached Kulokata later. So they were created elsewhere, and they came to Kulokata in the 14th century. So B seems to be the correct answer. C. Kulokata was founded by people from a different region than had previously been assumed. This is incorrect because nothing in the text at all mentions the founders of Kulokata and where they came from, so it would be illogical to discuss the founders of Kulokata in this context. And therefore, we can eliminate option choice C. D. Excavations at Kulokata may have inadvertently damaged some artifacts dating to the 14th century CE. This is incorrect because this doesn't show how the artifact dates and the 14th century CE date imply that the artifacts were damaged. So, because this doesn't make sense at all in the context of the text, we can eliminate option choice D. And with that, we know that the correct answer is B.